the lane much better against the Edith.
So I think you go Claude here for Super Marco. No.
Yeah.
That's one of the easiest Claude games you'll ever see in in this tournament.
It's gonna be all dive though for Falcons AP Bren, but it makes sense because the lineup of Falcons AP Bren doesn't have someone who can actually protect the backline well.
Oh, never mind. Oh, that's
Alright.
a good choice.
Okay, yeah.
That's nice against the Harith. You don't have to worry about like the Mathilda ulting in.
Yeah.
And then he also has, like, compared to the all the Nathan games that we've seen, he has the luxury of going flicker.
Yeah. By the way, it's a Chogwin.
Chogwin.
They put the Gatakacha with the EXP.
Oh, interesting. Versus the Edith.
Did that change up your perception of this draft?
I still like the the draft coming out from FCAP.
Yep, same. But it seems like there's something about the lineup of RORA that if they just get their, make sure that game number one doesn't repeat and they get their early game rotation. If they win a little skirmish after or before that first turtle and they get the first turtle, then that should be a smooth ride from them moving forward.
Does feel like survival mode still for Aurora. Let's see what our casters think. It's going to be nice winning and giving us the action for game number 2.
And here we go, game number 2 upon us in this best of 7.
Welcome
our
to
lower
Mobile
bracket
Legends.
final here. Once again, I'm Naisu, joined here on desk with Ingan.
Woo!
And as you see, game 1 was dominant as ever for Falcons AP Bren. This time, they do a little switcheroo. Look how aggressive Oakwin's being too. What they call it? The Chogwin?
The Chogwin. Master Chogwin again rocking his show. It's funny because prior to the playoffs, Ogwin wasn't known for using Cho. Even Auntie Anara asked Ogwin if he's comfortable with using Cho. So before the playoffs, we've seen Falcons AP Bren stream. Ogwin was really working on mastering this show, and it seems like he's confident enough to be this aggressive early on in the game.
He's pretty much got to be, and at the same time, you have Flap with that Gatakacha that has been such a great pick for a lot of teams all throughout the playoffs. And even, what do we say, I think it was debuted week 6 or 7 of the regular season.
No, I think it was earlier with Chuck, no?
No, I think it was towards the end. I know it was the second half of the regular season because that's when we started seeing more of those kind of interesting roam picks picked up, and now you see them flexed. Yeah, now they're flexed either in the XP lane or they're put in the roam, and part of that again is you have to play against that plus that revitalize, because over on the other side for Aurora, you're not going to have that. And it was interesting because when you saw the index coming into the game, they had a massive rating, Edward.
Okay, now they're going to try and go for Flap Teasy. Here comes the revitalize. Kyle Teasy goes in. Wanted to go for the kill. Shadow kill might be able to bring down Demon Kite to the first blood onto Demon Kite. And this is what you were saying, okay, Ogwin? They'll be able to escape there. And this is what you were saying. The revitalize of Flap Teasy.
My
So
goodness.
you saw it.
Oh, no.
Oh, Frosty Breeze. Bren escapes their Frigid Glacier. Has to use the Flicker, though. So now Falcons AP Bren, they got the kill. Forced out a lot of resources for Aurora.
That's one of those moments, Ingan, where you're just like, you got to be kidding me. You commit so much to getting a kill there early on, and he still doesn't go down, and then you end up getting counter-punched in the face. And yeah, that's the revitalize in the early game, especially how much healing it does provide, but also the fact that this is just a Gatakacha, and that even that extra little bit of tankiness that he has with the emblems that he brought to the table, the firmness is there too. The fight for the turtle.
Oh, what a beautiful kick! Plus paired up with the AOG. View gets the turtle plus the kill onto Demon Kite. Not a good start once again as Edward pops his Primal Wrath, but look at that, just ganking up on Edward. Falcons AP Bren continuing to extend the lead. Now this is what's alarming, as what the panel has been mentioning. The spike of Kyle Teasy, when it comes especially past the 5-minute mark, the Hayabusa is really going to overpower the Demon Kite. But even prior to that, he's already at 1-0-2. Now Super Marco has to walk away because Domin goes in with his Examine Force. Paired up with a Circling Eagle. Now a shutdown kill onto Super Marco. Kyle Teasy wants to go in. Wants to go for the counter engage. Going to bring down Domin though. Be able to escape. But that's a trade Falcons AP Bren are willing to take, but they want to go for more as Demon Kite punishes Kyle Teasy. Ogwin answers right back with another kill. Few just hiding in the brush, waiting for the perfect moment to stun Renegade. And then Falcons AP Bren again, same story. Always 2 steps ahead of Aurora.
They're always ready for the response, and that's the way you have to respect about Falcons AP Bren. Ever since they started their dominant, run throughout the world, And even last year, this is what you saw from the team, and this is what a lot of teams admired from them, is their rotations, is their responses, the way they counterplay. And, for Super Marco to go down that early on, but then FCAP still gets a lot out of the exchange, that's okay for them, because really when you're playing this Hayabusa into this lineup that RORA has, you want to be able to build up, get that momentum going, the snowball. It's already happening for Kyle TZ. And you can see the way they're playing into that, the way they're taking advantage of that. So if you're RORA and you're looking at how these past couple minutes have gone, then yeah, you really have to get ready to go ahead and start to win some of these fights, win some of these skirmishes early on. Well, how do you do that? Well, you've got that mobility from MSNanoZ. You've got a lot of options to go even with Edward here. But you got to make sure you have enough firepower, and that's where the main question is right now, because as the lead builds up, you're going to get out-itemized and out-damaged. Now they want to fight for this turtle here. They're all here for this one as they stand off 5 members from RORA, 5 from FCAP, looking to feel out the situation here. And really, with this kind of lineup being on, it could be RORA that starts things up.
Okay, here comes the kick once again. Plus the AOG onto the backline for Flap TZ. Demon Kai's gonna get the turtle, but Frigid Glacier is there.
Whoa.
Coming in from Falcons, 8-week friend Edward, though, with Primal Wrath gonna pop out. The Pride of Ice is gonna bring down Few eventually.
There it is.
Plus the kill onto Flap and to Kyle. Next story, it is Oakwood. Demon Kite working on him, and a double kill for the Smiling Kite.
And there you go. Smile on his face, gets the objective, and they get a whole lot more. Now RORA can switch into gear, look to get this tier 1 turret. That is exactly what they needed to stop FCAP's just snowball building up.
The best part is they got a mid lane turret. Kyle TZ doesn't have his purple buff. No casualties this time for Aurora, and also Doming gets a turret down bottom. A huge, huge swing from Aurora. And I hope that there's an Infinix instant replay, because honestly, that was a good catch from Ogwen with the way of the dragon. Unfortunately, they weren't able to burst down Edward. He was still able to use his Primal Wrath, then burst down Few. Even with the Pride of Ice, it was more than enough time to bring him down. A catch from Flap TZ onto the back line with the AOG wasn't enough, because Falcons AP Bren, during that clash, they were separated. They couldn't target, they couldn't lock on anyone from Aurora, because Aurora was just literally in a better position for the counterattack compared to Falcons.
And that's why I said it comes down to the positioning for them, how they started up.
Oh, okay, here comes the Circling Eagle once again. Gonna work on Flap TZ. Here comes the Revitalize. Might be tacky enough to out-sustain this though, but here comes the AOG. He's gonna escape. Edward
was there.
With the catch, just waited. Waited for one of his most familiar rivals. Calculated is the right word for Legend Zero. And a dominating start for Aurora.
I literally, like, the way that I saw that in my head is Edward is like, arms open, here I am. Jump on into them. So he's ready for that. Super Marco will go ahead and get a little damage here on that tier 2 turret on the bottom side. Trying to get something through that. But now the turtle's up here. 1-for-1 for both teams, but this one's just going to go over to Aurora very easily. Demon Kite clears it up.
Demon Kite just continuing to ride with MSNanoZ. And that's just a statement that Aurora is telling Falcons AP Bren that we're not going to give you an opportunity to counterattack, to come back, because our aggression will continue. Every single time they get a neutral objective, automatically it translates to other objectives, like turret takedowns down bottom, into the middle lane, and now the crowd's going wild, nice too.
Oh, They're going in blind right now, so that's the reactions we have them. Again, right now, they're just win here. They're going to have to pull out their phones to hear what's happening, but hey, looks like we're going back to it. Still top side, that tier 1 goes down, mid lane. A big part of this focus here.
Whoa.
You know, the RORA fans they're feeling it. They're feeling good about this one. Now that they have the lead built up, they're working through it. FCAP is the one that has to kind of adjust from this, because this is all what we were talking about, even when the panel mentioned that Matilda and everything else, right? You have it. You utilize the fact that you have a Circling Eagle. You have the Guiding Wind just like this.
Okay, now that's just to make sure to let Ogwen go out of position from the brushes that they have. And apart from that, credit to UF for a clutch Nightmare response, because right now they're just camping on every open brush that they can find. But Aurora has to watch out for a potential kick coming in from Ogwen off angle though. Now Few has to cast the Frigid Glacier, want to go for the counter-attack. AOG coming there, but Owen's going to fall down. They have to walk away. Nightmare Spawn, the Dominator's Descent is also there as Flap TC pops his Revitalize. They're only going to lose Ogwin, but this is Aurora maximizing the lead that they've established. 12 seconds in, the first Lord is going to spawn, and so far Aurora's controlling the map and the pace.
This is a lot better game for RenaJ here. He's got 8 assists right now, and he's doing a lot of work, and that's what he has to do with Matilda. You know, gets that second chance to do it, pulls it off really well so far at this point of the game, and they're following through with it. So RORA, their fighting capabilities when it comes to those, you know, small choke points, even in the jungle, even if they put pressure on the purple buff, if they want to, or the orange buff or anywhere, they have this kind of advantage to work around because they can displace themselves or get an angle that FCAP has to respond to. Look at this. They're just going to drive Falcons AP Bren off the Lord. There's no area for FCAP to even get into because, again, Kyle Teasy, he's not ready for that fight. Neither is the rest of the team here.
Yeah, it just shows that Aurora has good ground cover that time, and I do agree with what you've been saying for RenaJ. I mean, they first pick Matilda onto the blue side, and this is the reason, because it's a mixture of the hitman and the heal man, providing a lot of shields, providing a lot of heals, and at the same time, going for those very aggressive dives, paired up most of the time with Demon Kite. Then once it connects, automatically going to cast the Spear of Alpha as Kyle Teasy just watching as Aurora takes away his precious purple buff.
He's going to wait patiently there because right now, RORA looking to take some more across the map. That Lord going down the bottom side. FCAP might try to defend here.
Okay, here comes a Wiki Shadow kill though. As Kyle Teasy goes out, the sustain from Aurora is there. And as you can see what Yue has been doing, just placing Nightmaric Spawn after Nightmaric Spawn and all the brushes that he thinks Ogwin will be in. That's why during that prior clash, when Kyle Teasy went in, Ogwin was backing away. Ogwin had the perfect angle to actually, speaking of Ogwin.
Chogwin waiting there patiently. An off angle. Lord down still on the bottom side. They might look to take the long trip around. Right now, Kyle Teasy gets spotted out too. Ogwin still waiting patiently. They'll clear out the Lord pretty quickly. Again, their lineup from FCAP can do this relatively well, but they might be looking for their own sandwich play. Ogwin, he's going to get caught off though. Better that he gets on out of there. This was the right idea, though, for FCAP. They might have to look for something like that in order for this game to turn over in their favor. All the while, what this is doing, Ingon, is letting Super Marco get the items that he needs to see to the point where he has that, what we call, you know, that Nathan bomb, the Super Marco bomb with this, that combination. He's got that Holy Crystal already starting inside Feather Heaven, so he's pretty much online. It's more so surviving these areas against RORA's lineup.
But the thing is, again, the dive-centric lineup of Aurora is just too much. Might be too much later on for Falcons AP Bren once Aurora secures the Lord. Again, we've been seeing RenaJ circling Eagles almost on the offensive end, wanting to go for those crucial damage deals for Falcons AP Bren. And the thing is, even if Ogwin manages to find Doming, again, there's Doming's Purify saved up for that perfect moment. And at the same time, the guiding wind again from RenaJ. A lot of times he has been saving Aurora from Falcons AP Bren's counter initiation. And with the kit that Falcons have, they have the AOG, they have the Frigid Glacier. It's surprising that until now, they only have 6 kills because of the defense RenaJ is providing.
It's a whole lot of utility that they can use, but no, in FCAP and the way that they like to approach the game, and it's like, you know, if they don't have to commit it, they don't need to. If it's not going to be a sure thing, then they won't.
Yeah.
Now that Super Marco picks up the Divine Glaive, they might actually contest this and try to get one of those quick kills if they can. Maybe if it's even Ogwin here to get a kick in the right direction, and they might go for that unless this just goes in their hands. Lord sitting at half health here. It's going to go for this reset. We've seen this many times, even yesterday.
Oh.
We saw some of the longest Lord dances, the new Lord dance we'll call it, back between both teams where they just kind of feel out the area. Big defensive items also being picked up here. Winter Crown now for RenaJ. So even if they give the go signal, they might just try to go in for a feign play here. Quarter health on the Lord.
Okay, they're going to commit fully on the Lord as Demon Kite secures it. Falcons AP Bren picking their fights for now. They're going to leave it be. They will just go for the defense.
And this is what I'm saying, man. You pointed this out earlier. That zone defense or the zone options that RORA can play with the fact that they even have Yue on the Zask pick, the Nightmare spawns alone are enough to kind of keep FCAP from second guessing. And if it doesn't even need to be all of FCAP. It actually just needs to be Ogwin.
Yeah.
Whether they're checking the bushes, whether they're just kind of spotting him out so that he can't as easily get that setup that he's looking for, or possibly get a kick that he's looking for. So it kind of spots them out and keeps them at bay. Whereas FCAP has made the decision being like, okay, that's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to approach these objectives. We might as well just go for the base defense here.
As you were saying, again, Ogwen got spotted out from that brush, specifically from you. And here comes the Lord marching down the bottom lane. They want to burst down the inhibitor, and they will do it successfully. Here comes Edward, goes in with the Earth Shatter Flicker combination. Now going to cast the Primal Wrath, going to bring down Ogwen. Next target is Marco. The Bulletproof has now fallen down. Aurora evens out the series.
Very refined in game number 2. Aurora this time around will bring things together, and you can hear the crowd of Aurora going right there on the screen. They even out the series 1-1.